Hello, welcome to the Roxanne World podcast. Um, in the future, I hope to have guests, but today my guest is me, Roxanne. The topic today is welfare as regards farmed animals. Welfare is a dirty word in the animal rights movement, generally speaking. And I don't think it should be. And I'm here to sell you on something that you don't want to buy, which is the idea that animal welfare is important, it's essential, it's speciesist not to want and fight for farmed animals. And I'm going to make my case. And in the comments, please let me know what you think, because I know some of you have some very strong opinions about this. I will start with saying that I'm not talking about something that a lot of our people call welfarism, which I'm going to define as the idea of wanting and fighting for animal welfare improvements, but still being okay with the end result, which is that animals are bred, raised to become meat and eggs and dairy, and used for those purposes and so forth. Sorry. Long COVID, y'all. It's awesome. So, this is not about welfarism. This is about animal welfare. Farmed animal welfare. The animal rights movement resists discussing it, pursuing improvements in it, and I think it's wrong that we do that. Here's why. First of all, I'm a prison abolitionist. I would like to see prisons torn down and no new prisons made, and a lot of people who are in prison let out. Not everybody, not everyone is safe to be outside amongst us, but I consider myself a prison abolitionist. I know that prison, the end of prisons, is not coming today, it's not coming tomorrow, it's not coming next week or next year. It's probably not coming until collapse. So I also want improvements in the welfare for people who are incarcerated. Why wouldn't you? Think about a kill shelter. You don't want kill shelters. You want all kill shelters to be no kill shelters. But it's not possible right now. It's not feasible at this time. Do you want kill shelters to be comfortable places for people like cats and dogs to be while they're trying to find homes and while they're being killed if they don't find homes? Do you want all those processes to be as easy as possible? If the answer is yes, that is animal welfare that you're discussing, that you're in favor of. So now we get to a chicken. And the argument is that animal rights people have is, I'm not going to fight for 1 square inch of a bigger cage for a chicken. I'm fighting for the abolition of animal agriculture, total liberation. Power fist. Power fist, you can't see. I was not making it okay, by the way, which is not okay. So if you have a plan, a workable plan that looks like it's going to work out, great. And in the next couple of days or weeks or months or maybe a year, we will have total liberation and all animals will be free. let me know, because then I'm going to be with you. Let's power through to that. If you don't have that plan, and I sure don't, and I don't know anybody who does, in the meantime, billions of animals live their entire lives in captivity in some pretty horrific conditions. If you were going to be born into a factory, be fattened up, put on a truck, taken to a slaughterhouse, have your face dipped in electrified water, and then have your throat slit, and so on and so on, I would want to do anything to make that process better for you until I could get you out. And especially if I knew that generations and generations and generations and generations and generations of you are going through this. I would want to do everything I could to make things better for you until I could get you out. And this is a piece of animal rights in our movement that we're missing right now. For the most part, not entirely, but with a lot of people. The idea that we should fight for better conditions for animals. So there are two reasons why we should do this. One, if you don't believe that animals are worth fighting for, well, their welfare, then that is very speciesist. You're not exactly seeing it, and it's okay. This is complicated gray area stuff, maybe. But if you don't want these animals to have the best possible lives while they are going through this torturous set of events, generation after generation, by the billions, every year by the billions, I don't know. So for its own sake, for the sake of each individual trapped in the system, I want better conditions. That should be enough on its own. The other reason is that every welfare improvement costs the industry billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. This industry that has lobbyists and money that we can never approach. We can never have as many lobbyists. We can never have as many people. We can never have as many activists and organizers and organizations. Our movement will never be able to fight them in a one-on-one battle when it comes to getting with the government, getting with the money situation. That's not how it's. We just can't. We can't fight on that level. But we can chip away. And here's what happens. Some of you have heard me say this, so bear with me. My welfare is a ladder thing. Welfare is a ladder. Farmed animals right now are on, let's say, the second from the bottom rung of the ladder. The ladder is welfare. The bottom of the ladder is the worst possible conditions, and the top of the ladder is the best possible conditions. It's a long ladder, possibly, most likely. Farmed animals, industrially farmed animals, are near the very bottom of that ladder in the way they are treated. Every rung of this ladder that we are able to achieve an improvement for an animal, it costs the industry money that they don't want to spend. So we ask for that 1 extra inch in that chicken cage that people are always talking about. That sounds like it's not worth anything. You know what it's worth? Billions of dollars that these corporations don't want to spend. And once you get that extra inch, then you go for something else that costs them billions of dollars. And when you get that something else, you've climbed another rung of the welfare ladder. And now maybe you've cost them tens of billions or hundreds of billions of dollars. And then you think of what you can do, fight for next to go up the next rung of the ladder. At some point on this ladder, these corporations don't farm animals anymore because it's too expensive. It's too expensive because the welfare improvements have cost them too much. And even just paying for the the cages and the various things that they need to change to make the improved welfare possible, then operating at that level becomes more expensive as well. Remember that most people who do factory farming are contract growers. And this is it's a terrible way to do business. It's like they own, the pig farmers will say, they own the land, they own the shit, and the corporation owns everything else. And they have to buy everything from the corporation. So look up vertical integration if you want to learn about how industrial animal agriculture works and how it works to make money off everything it can and control everything it can. But at some point, these companies stop farming animals because it's too expensive. Maybe they already see it coming because they are looking at clean lab-grown meats, which will not require animals to be, grown and fattened and slaughtered and all of that, or the deaths of any animals. For most corporations, there are probably corporations working on it that are not quite as kind. And mock meats, which some of them are very closely approximate what the animal meat tastes like. We hear about fried chicken contests and chili contests where a vegan version of something people really love goes up against a traditional version and wins. And the people don't even know that the version that has won is vegan until afterwards. So this is a way to add a component to animal rights activism that I feel like we're not really doing much on, and that is welfare. As you know, our organization is part of a lawsuit against the USDA to reverse the decision to speed up the kill line for pigs. At the same time, there has been a lawsuit by unionized workers to do the same thing. And at this time, the kill line speed has been reduced back to what it was, 1,106 pigs per hour. Don't even ask me what it is for chickens because you can't even believe it. And they've sped that up too. So that is a welfare issue. Some of you who have seen what goes on in a slaughterhouse, who have seen what goes on in a factory farm, you know how important welfare is to these animals. It's all they have. They have nothing else. A hen laying eggs in a cage packed with other hens, a cage ground, a floor, and a cage on top so that the hens on top are shitting on them and they're shitting on the hens below them, and they have no place to, they can't even, stand up, sit down, turn around. They can't roost, make little nests. They can't dust bathe. They can't do anything that chickens do. This is like extreme confinement that is inhumane in ways that generations in the future will be horrified that we let this, well, that this lasted as long as it did. We're not letting it. We're fighting it. We're trying. You're trying. I'm trying. We're doing everything we can think of. You know, we're trying to be smart. We're trying to have great strategies. But let me just say, I think a great strategy for destroying animal agriculture, industrial animal agriculture, which is most of what we have in the United States and a lot of other countries. One way to bring it down is the welfare ladder. Put them out of business by making it too fucking expensive to do business. So comment below and let me know what you think, because I really want to know. And if you're ready to go to work on this, definitely get a hold of me, because I'm ready to go to work too. Peace.